It's a Monday, it's 7 o'clock, and my sausage is frozen. Oh. I'll just stay open, complete. Oh God, finally. Let's skedaddle. Let's get out of here. Oh my God. Hello Gertrude. How are you? Now, talking of sausage, there's a guy I follow on YouTube out in Australia called Biker Bits. Very good channel, been following it for, God knows, must be close to 10 years. And he does a podcast now. It's quite entertaining. They just sit there, get a little bit pissed, and talk about bikes and shit. So I was waffling away, and then my name came up. Mark, who runs the channel, said, yeah, I need to give a shout out to Billy Four Rocks out in the UK. And the other guy said, Billy who? And Mark went, the Dick Man. I'm getting such a reputation because all these bloody cock doodles and stuff that I keep showing on my videos, but I don't mind. I quite like that. I think that's quite funny. So in Australia, I am affectionately known as the Dick Man. Good. To be fair, I've been called a lot worse. But I like that. It's quite nice when you get like just an out of the blue kind of shout out from someone. It's quite good. It's quite heartwarming, really, you know. Oh, going on here, man. People are mental. You know what? I've got a feeling in my bones it's going to be one of those nights. Crazy nights. So talking of channels, old Billy Boy here has surpassed 2,000 subscribers. It's about 2010 now. And that happened over the weekend, and I was quite taken back by it. I know I said this a million times before, whenever I sort of hit a milestone, you know, be it the first subscriber or the first 100 or whatever. It's an incredibly humbling thing, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I'm genuinely, I'm being very sincere. It's I have a great deal of gratitude for all you guys that have subscribed. Both, there's guys that have gone back, you know, years and years watching me do this stuff, and to all you new guys that have come along, have, you know, come across my video by chance perhaps, and they like what they see and they hit the subscribe button. So, you know, to think that people out there that are interested in what I say and what I do is yeah, it's incredibly humbling, and it's very, very nice. It's a very nice feeling to know that you're doing something that, you know, some people are interested in. It's quite nice. And if I can make just one person laugh with a cock doodle, then you know what, my job is done. That's it, I'm happy. If this whole thing doesn't, you know, if you can't have a laugh with it, then, you know, there's enough heavy, serious stuff going on. Let's just have a laugh. Let's just check out some cock doodles, you know. I am the Dick Man. And the guy that Mark was sitting with, Alistair, he's a friend of his. He's in his videos as well. He called me Billy Big Dick. Now, does he know something that I don't? Because I would love to know what he knows. And I'm finding now that the subscriber numbers I'm getting more and more quicker and quicker, if you know what I mean. So I think I'm averaging about, I don't know, maybe 10 a week, which in the great scheme of things is nothing, but for old Billy Boy, he's pretty chuffed with that. And it's nice, and it kind of spurs you on to do more things. It kind of gives you incentive, because you've got all these new subscribers and they're waiting for new stuff, and probably going through the old stuff. So you want to keep the ball rolling, you know, keep the old kettle boiling. Well, what else was I going to say? Oh yes, the bike is going in for its, I think it's either 26 or 28,000 mile service, and that includes the valve clearance checks and all fluids, all filters, spark plugs, the whole shebang basically. And I asked around different people for different quotes. I checked with Barnstormer BMW and Arden BMW in Tunbridge Wells, and all the BMW main dealerships quoted me the same. It was between £500 and £550, which for a big service I think is quite good. And I think the reason it's that price is because, like I said before, this bike, a lot of the major service areas, spark plugs, blah blah blah, are all very easily to get to. They're all accessible quickly and easily. And a lot of bikes, if you want to get to the air filter, you've got to take the tank off and all the hoses that are attached to it, and obviously that takes time, and time is money. So yeah, I was really quite surprised with that. I thought 500 quid was pretty good. Now I know that there's BMW approved non-BMW dealerships that can do the job probably just as well, I'd imagine, and charge a bit less. But I just want to get the old BMW stamp in the book because it looks nice if I ever come to sell it, which, you know, I have absolutely no intention of doing so, but it just looks nice in the book. It shows that you care and you made a bit of an effort. So that's happening. When is that happening? That is going on next Tuesday. No, not next Tuesday, the 7th, which is the first Tuesday of February. I've got to drop the bike off, leave it overnight so it's cold when they do the valve check, and I pick up Wednesday, and they're going to give me a courtesy bike. I have no idea what it is. I'm very excited about that. I don't even care what it is, as long as it's different, even if it's the 1250 version of this bike. That'd be quite cool, and I'll do a little video on that, see what it is I pick up. So that is that. And also, when I gave the lady my registration number, she said to me, "You're due a recall on the shaft drive." I was like, okay, I thought I got it all done. I know there was I think there was a cylinder head recall, and also on the forks at the top there, they had to be reinforced. That's all been done. Excuse me. But apparently there's another one, so just be wary of this, and I will get it checked out if you can. Apparently the shaft drive on some models, water can get in, and if water gets into your final drive, then that can cause, as you can imagine, all sorts of dramas. So get it checked out. And what they do, now this is quite odd, now you might be able to explain this better than what I can, but going by what the lady said, they drill a hole in the underside of your shaft drive, and then they see what comes out. If it's watery oil, then they know they've got to replace the whole shaft drive with a modified version. If it's okay, then what they do is they just plug the hole. Now, if they're checking to see if the oil is watery, why can't they just undo the drain plug and do it that way? Why do they have to drill a hole in it? Maybe it's a part where, I don't know. But if you know, if you had it done, let me know, just out of curiosity. So that needs to be done as well. So it's going to have a good service, and I'm looking forward. And these new tyres as well, well overdue. So la-di-da. Oh, look at that, doors opening, great, love it, I love it. That's what I'm saying, it's one of those nights I can feel it. 20 Billy, 20. Oh my god, you know what, since we had that cold snap a few weeks back, there's some monster potholes. Oh, calamari. Yeah, so this is the first vlog of 2023, and obviously there's going to be more more of the same basically going into this year. But also I want to get a new camera. Do you remember that camera I had before? I had it for a few months, the Sony ZV-1. I bought it specifically for the channel, and it was great. It worked well until the point where it didn't work. It just kind of, the focus ring kept on resetting itself, and it wouldn't boot up properly. So I got rid of that. It was too expensive to repair, so I just sold it as a fixable. But I'm going to get a new camera very soon, and I might get the Panasonic. I might go for Panasonic Lumix S2. It's just come out, and apparently it's got it in gear, Billy. Apparently it's very good. So I might treat myself to that, because I want the images to look good. Like I say, you take the time to watch them, why shouldn't I make them look as good as possible? I think that's only fair. I think it's important to make an effort, I think. And as good as the iPhone is, in low light, it gets a bit noisy. The image gets a bit noisy, and it's not great. So that's that. Go, 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 Jetters. What's that geezer doing in the middle of the road? Ooh. Thanks to everyone that commented last year and all the videos. There's my sort of regular bunch of dudes that comment, and it's very much appreciated, because it I like the back and forth, the communicating with everyone. It's and the banter and the jokes and all that sort of stuff. Like I said before, this channel is predominantly, it's supposed to be a bit of a laugh, which is why when you look through my comment section, a lot of it is banter. You get some, you know, nasty comments and stuff. Not nasty, but, you know, critical without being constructive, and I always keep those, and I always pin them, because I think they're hilarious for all the sort of wrong reasons. And I was watching a couple of videos last night, and they were about, I'm not going to mention his name, but you're going to know who it is straight away. A very popular YouTuber, motorcycle mechanic guy, and he does not take well to criticism, even constructive criticism, to a point where he will delete the comments, which I think is very odd behaviour. I don't know why you would do that, because I actually left a comment on his one of his videos saying, you know, if the comment is constructive and for the sake of people learning how to do, you know, a certain thing on the bike, could you just leave it up so we could all benefit from it, you know, from a learning perspective? But no, he deleted it. So, you know, it's I'm beginning to realise what the channel is about. Like he's quite an odd character. But then again, I show pictures of graffiti cocks on walls, so who am I to talk? Anyway, we'll leave it at that. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I did an oil change on the bike last week, so it's running super nice. Really lovely and smooth. I didn't really need to do it, but I kind of, it's a habit that I've got into over the years of doing an oil change once a year. Regardless of whether it needs it or not, I just do it. It's not particularly expensive, and it's my little treat for the bike. But that said, it is going to get another oil change next month. But sod it, let's go crazy. Massive cock doodle. I've got my cousin over at the moment. He's just turned 18. He lives out in Turkey, and he's mad on bikes, and I can pretty much take full responsibility for that. So yeah, I got him into bikes at a sort of, well, I mean, I say I got him into bikes, he saw that I rode bikes, you know, even when he was a little baby. I used to sit him on the bike, and I think it's in his blood now. So it's you know, it's one of those things, once you're into it, especially with bikes, you're kind of in for it for life, aren't you, to a degree. So I took him out on this bike yesterday, just around the block and everything, and it's the first big bike he's been on the back of. He's not old enough to do his training yet over in Turkey, and it's mega expensive as well over there apparently to get into bikes. So yeah, he was well chuffed with that, well chuffed. And I like it, you know. It's kind of like passing the it's like the Olympic torch of motorcycle appreciation. There you go, I've had my fun, now you go and have your fun. And I promised him, when he gets his first bike, I'm going to get him all the good gear, some proper gear, you know, and get it all shipped over to him as an incentive to keep doing it. And he was asking me, he was saying, what bike should I get, what would you recommend? And I just said, just go with your heart, you know, get the bike, because obviously you're restricted by power as you are over here for a certain period of time. So I said, get the bike that looks coolest, because when you wake up in the morning and you go down to your garage and you see a bike that you're not too keen on, you're not going to want to ride it. It kind of takes away the joy of it. You have to be excited about it. You have to open that garage door and go, look at that, look at that. You know, it has to spark excitement and the urge to get on it and ride it. It's a very important thing, I think. But he's a proper sports bike nut, but he likes the what's it called, the supermotos and all that, KTMs. But I was quite surprised. I said to him, what's your dream bike? And he said to me, a 1996 R1. I thought, what? It's very rare for an 18-year-old these days to hark back to what was, you know, for them at least, that's a retro bike. So I was quite surprised by that, and quite pleased as well, because it shows he's got good taste. You know, he's not just going for the, you know, just doesn't want the latest, greatest, fastest thing out there. He wants something with a bit of style and a bit of charisma, a bit like me, really, you know. So he's actually coming over tomorrow. We're going to pop to WH Smith's, get some bike mags, so we can have a little read on the plane, you know, keep that flame burning. Although once it's been ignited, it pretty much never goes out, does it? You know, and it's weird. It's like life is repeating itself, because it was my uncle, to a degree, got me into bikes as well when I went on the back of his Kawasaki GT 550. Remember those? And my sister burning the leg on the exhaust. It's like, all right, this is it. You know, however old I was, 10 or 11, this is it. This is what I want. And even between the ages of 10 and however old I was when I got my first bike, 19 or 20, the passion for it was still there, even though I couldn't ride one. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Oh, Billy Sheen. Oh, the handling prowess of the mighty GS. As wide as a bus, as svelte as an F1 car. It's a slight exaggeration, but you know what I mean. So if you haven't seen them already, I've got a couple of vids up since the previous vlog, and that is the SW Motec tank bag, the GS Pro tank bag. Very nice indeed. And what is this? Just go, mate, just go. And the rock straps, the good old rock straps. There's a video on those as well, so go check those out if you haven't seen them already. Have a cheeky butchers, you know. It definitely doesn't feel as cold tonight Honestly, my fingertips yesterday morning, boy, that was actually hurting. I thought I was going to, you know that guy, that explorer, is it Ranulph Fiennes? Did you hear the story about him? He came back from some Arctic expedition or something, excuse me, and he had quite severe frostbite in his fingertips, and the pain was just getting pretty much unbearable. So he went into his shed, and basically he sawed off his fingertips. He sawed off his fingertips. Google that, check it out, that is no BS. He actually sawed off his own fingertips because they was getting on his nerves so much. Now that is the definition of a double-hard geezer. Could you imagine it? Oh my God. Well, he'll say to his missus, "Here Deirdre, I'm just popping out to the shed for a minute." She'll go, all right love, I won't be long. And he comes back with his fingertips missing. Oh my God. That's a true story, that is. I was actually hoping to see my mate today, who he's been off for a couple of weeks. He had a hernia operation, and I haven't seen him for a while, and I phoned him up Sunday, and I said to him, I said, how did the operation go? Go all right? And he went, yeah, the operation went okay. But then he said, the weird thing was, my balls turned black and my penis shriveled up. I was like, what? Is that supposed to happen when you have a hernia operation? Your balls turned black? Oh my God. So I was desperate for him to come in today so we could have an in-depth chat over a sausage casserole. Could you imagine it? Sort of waking up and your old meat and two veg have turned black and shriveled up. Oh my God. I mean, he's going to be alright. It's just like heavily bruised, but still. Oh my God. If you're not expecting it and you look down and you see that, oh man. But he's going to be alright. He's going to be alright. You'll be pleased to hear his Todger's going to be fine. Why is my flap all steamy? I'm not supposed to have a steamy flap. There's nothing worse than a steaming flap. I'll tell you what else you've got to watch out for. When the roads are like this, and you seasoned bikers are going to know what I'm talking about, but for you newbies out there, you new riders, when the roads are like this, when they kind of feel a little bit kind of, I don't know, greasy, you got to watch out when you're going around a corner. You got to watch out for the greasy manholes. There is nothing quite like a greasy manhole to strike fear in the heart of a rider. The horror of the greasy manhole. But all jokes aside, be bloody careful when you ride across them things, especially if you're at an angle. I've had many bum clenching moments going over those things when the old back wheel goes zoop like that. Oh my God, it scares the bejeebers out of you. Watch out for the greasy manhole. Initiate steamy face flap closure. Steamy face flap closure initiated. Okay, I think we are done for another vlog sesh. Again, thank you very much for everyone who comments over the past over 2022. Here's to this year, more vids coming, more vlogs, more working on the bike in the garage, have the little you know, tinkering away, not quite knowing what I'm doing but giving it a bloody good shot, and if I learn something I will share with you, and if I do something wrong you must tell me, so the person reading the comments learns from it as well, and we can all learn. It can all be a nice sort of, you know, a place of laughter and learning. You know, what more can you want really? And a couple of cock doodles thrown in for good measure. That's it guys, we are done. And again, thanks for hitting the 2,000 subscriber mark. Unbelievable. And I imagine if you're watching this, you're thinking, yeah, it is unbelievable. Oh dear. You can't beat a bit of what's the word, self-flagellation, is that the correct term? I don't know. Whatever. See you later, guys. Bye bye. Come on, let's go. Big power. Bloody steamy face flap. If I open it up, my eyes turn to ice cubes. If I close it, I can't see where I'm going. It's your classic double-edged sword scenario, you know. Ugh.